In pursuit of exploring creative outlets and perspective, join me on this journey. Wait, what was I saying? Who cares? This is Dandemonium Podcast. Thanks for tuning in to the 36th episode of the Dandemonium Podcast. I want you to know that this is hashtag for you. You can't see me right now, but I got both of my hands forming the shape of a heart. Right now I'm pumping it through my chest. It's for you. Now I really just try to do a lot of joking on here. Some of it is a little serious, but for the most part, I aim to be somewhere you can go for just complete, utter nonsense. Yes, I said utter, but I'm not going to milk out that joke. See what I did there? It's stupid. It's completely stupid. But this is why you guys tune in, right? To hear me humiliate myself. That's the whole thing. I haven't done shit all day. I feel like a turd, a piece of shit that hasn't done shit all day. I haven't showered in like 3 days. I got to wash my ass, but I've worked hard all week. So I'm kind of enjoying a little bit of the downtime. We all got to have our downtime. And, so I really haven't done much. I woke up late. I've just been playing some music online. This is a group. I keep on seeing their videos on Facebook. So this is how you pronounce a name. I'm going to play a little bit here.
Our band is called The Antwoord, and that means the answer. The peoples from America, they say it a little bit funny because they can't say it right. How do they say it? They say
like die Antwoord. It sounds a bit fucking stupid, actually. Die Antwoord.
The Antwoord. The Antwoord.
Die Ant like cunt, then woord.
The Antwoord. So I was listening to a little bit, The Antwoord. It sounds probably fucking stupid to them, but they got some jams, man, so I was just listening to that all day. And other than that, I'm a stinky piece of shit. I thought earlier on in the week that I was going to have a little bit of trouble trying to come up with some topics. It started out slow in the beginning of the week and coming up with topics for the episode. But we're surrounded by so much extreme talent, and yes, I do say this sarcastically, that appears to be some sort of spin-off. We're in the middle of like a Jerry Springer show in Idiocracy. Now let me preface this by giving just a little bit of a background. Now, I grew up primarily in the primal times of the 80s and 90s. It was unruly. Everybody was fighting with sticks and spears and stones. Just kidding. But we had cords on phones hanging on the wall or on the table. And a time where phones were only in buildings, by the way. We used to ride bikes around town from day till night. There was no social media. We had to confront our haters face to face. If you were talking shit and word got around, you were going to be confronted, most likely. If they were talking shit and word got around to you, you'd have to stand up for your ground. So we had to be face to face with our issues. We spent time outside, like getting drunk in the woods or firing up a joint behind the garage of your friend's house. Or setting a whole lawn on fire of fluffy-ass white dandelions that are just prime kindling for a flash fire. Don't do that, everybody. But if that's how you're going to start a flash fire, that's how you would do it. But don't do that. It's not a good idea. The fire department came out. It ended up being a friend of mine from school. It was a bad situation. It got out of control way too fast. I'm trying to stomp out this fire, and I just couldn't do it. We were just walking around town, and I'm like, a stupid kid. Wouldn't it be funny if I just set this lawn on fire? I'm going to do it. And then I just set like one little corner of the lawn, and the whole thing, whoosh, it just expanded out. It was very fast, uncontrollable. I was trying to stop it out and just couldn't. All I could do was run. I felt like a piece of shit. I'm just a stinky piece of shit. What did I tell you? So don't do that. And around 1997 or so, I started to have a pager. You know, those were the good old days of many a young entrepreneurs once the pager came out. Remember those old pager codes? It was like hello. It was 07734, so upside down it spells hello. That's probably one of the easiest one. I don't really remember any of these, but 143 was I love you. 121, I need to talk to you. This is a good one. 1134-209 is go to hell. Who would have thought? I never knew that. 607, I miss you. 477, best friends forever. That's the BFF. 911 is, of course, call me now. 601 is happy birthday. I didn't really know about that. I just remember two of them. It was from the list, hello and 911. And then there's another one, boobs. I tried to do that on my iPhone. I couldn't even do it. I was trying to spell boobs on my iPhone, but it's not like the old calculators where all the numbers are made up of just squares, so you can make letters out of them. Man, my iPhone, it's got curves around the 5. Everything is more defined, so you can't spell out boobs on your iPhone calculator. When I found this out, trust me, I'm ready to get an analog phone so I could just spell boobs. Guys, what the fuck am I doing with my life? I'm a 40-year-old male, and I'm pissed off that I can't spell boobs with my iPhone calculator. But I suppose somebody has to bring up the real issues in life. It might as well be me. So that's all I remember is like, hello, boobs, 911. And once I got a pager, I tried to hide this pager because I was only like 16, 17 years old, something like that. And it's not something that like everybody had to know about. So I would always just tuck it in the belt line rather than like on the pocket. Sometimes I would have it on the pocket and then I might forget. So I tried to hide it basically as long as I could before somebody saw it hanging out of my pocket because I'm a dumbass and I forget to put it on my belt line. So I had to try and avoid the boomers, those fucking boomers. And I would get the same thing all the time if it was spotted, like a fucking boomer spots that it's clipped on my pocket, right? All discreet, like they're like, oh, what's that you got there? And I'm high as fuck, so I forgot to put it on my belt line. And I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. What's that you got there? Now they know it's a goddamn pager, and they're just yanking your dick. And then me, oh, this? It's a pager. And then I instantly know because it's the same thing all the time. What I'm in for, what I have to go through. So at this point, you got to go through the whole thing with them. Oh, it's a pager, is it? Yes, it's a pager. What do you need a pager for? Keeping in touch with friends. Really? You need to keep in touch with friends that much? Pagers are cool. Yes, I think pagers are cool. Why not? You're not selling drugs, are you? They say all the time. There was probably something on the news that was nationwide spread about pagers and the increase of pager use. And, if your kid has a pager, you better make sure that they're not selling drugs. It's the same thing every goddamn time. Only drug dealers needed to have a pager. Me? Selling drugs? Psh, no, I'm not selling drugs. In the middle of this whole conversation, now I'm getting a page on my goddamn pager, and I look at it and it says 911. I call this person, and I'm like, what's up, bro? You messaged me, 911, what's going on? And I'm at my house calling from the phone that's hanging up on my wall. I'm like, what's going on, bro? It's like, hey, dude, you got a dime bag? Jeez, 911 for all that? Yeah, I'll see you in 10 minutes. Now, I'm just kidding here, folks, but, we used to do stuff back in the day. That's learning some real life skills, some real valuable information about real life entrepreneurship. At the only age I tried to go to work at like 15, the guy said, no, I look too young. I'm a short motherfucker. So no, I don't want child labor laws to be called on me. So no, I can't employ you. Come back next year when you're a little bit taller. I was like an inch and a half taller the next year, but I was a little bit older, so it's like, whatever. If they come after me and say that they think that my employee's too young, I'll show them some papers. I got some papers. It was a Chinese restaurant. I was bussing tables. It was a good experience. I was making $4.25 back then. I think it was 16 years old. Maybe it was 17 years old because I still looked too young at 16. I don't know. I kept going back every year like, please hire me. I had some buddies that worked there. And they looked a lot older, so they were able to work there like 14 years old. They got mustaches and shit. I'm over here, this fucking short-ass motherfucker that can't get hired till I'm 2 years past the legal age where I can actually work at the joint. Ridiculous, man. The shit I go through, the shit I've gone through in my life and overcame. So I don't want any bullshit. Well, I really haven't had it that bad. But I make best of the shit, you know what I mean? And I always had. So if that means that, I'm 16, 17, trying to, provide for myself, by then thank God I didn't have a kid. I wasn't married, 17 years old. Not that I would be. A lot of people don't do that. But this is all fun and games here, folks. So we used to do shit. We used to smoke weed. We used to play basketball, video games, listen to music. Ride bikes was probably the number one thing. Always out of the house, meeting with friends, riding bikes around town from, if it was a weekend and there was enough time, it'd be morning till night. Not like today. Back in the day, there was no cyberbullying. Again, as I mentioned, we had to face our bullies face to face. If we wanted to see friends, we'd have to figure out a means to try and see that friend. Can you get a ride? Can I get a ride? Ride your bike, walk, whatever you had to do. We didn't spend 8 hours laying in bed e-learning and then talking to friends on some video app. We didn't have Facebook Messenger, FaceTime, no Zoom, no WhatsApp, no Skype. So this could be like maybe a typical conversation between, we'll say like two teenage girls, 16. Their names are Kate and Kate. So Kate says to Kate, hey, this is after their 8-hour e-learning session where they're just laying in bed in school. Hey, did you see Billy? You see, Billy was looking at me the whole time while we were in class. And then the other Kate's like, that Billy was looking at everybody. He's looking at the screen, which is looking at everybody in the class. He wasn't just looking at you. Yeah, but did you see how he winked at me? Yeah, you're fucking crazy, Kate. Goddamn, somebody's got to change their name. I'm going to fucking change my name just so I don't have the same name as you. So you got these two Karens going back and forth, and the Karen's like, yeah, anyways, Billy winked at me. I know he did. I saw that shit. And, he's got the hots for me. I sent him a private text message on the side, and I said, can I hold your hand? Because virtually we're sitting right next to each other. So we were virtually holding hands. Isn't that so much fun? Oh, man, it was so fun. And I think I'm going to ask him out. If he doesn't ask me out, that little fucking pussy, I'm going to ask him out. And then the other Kate's just like, hey, chill the fuck out. Why are you still in your pajamas? And then the other Kate replies, because I'm 16 years old. We got this e-learning. I don't have to get ready. I don't have to get dressed. All I got to do, I got my pajamas on. And I've already given up on life. I'm 16 years old. That's what we got. 16-year-olds giving up on life, not even bothering to brush their teeth, get dressed, do their hair. It doesn't matter if you have e-learning. We got people going to business Zoom meetings in their goddamn underwear with the fucking button-up shirt and a coat jacket over that. No pants on. These are the times that we're in, but, good times. If you could get away with it, at least it took me till I was like 39, 40 years old before I started giving up on life. I mean, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here, guys. Okay, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with my life here. I'm talking about the 80s and 90s, the times that I grew up in. These fucking no cell phones and shit, no apps. We weren't worried about likes, committing acts of self-mutilation like filing your teeth down with an emery board, giving yourself permanent damage. But what a beautiful smile, so you can hopefully go viral on TikTok. Hashtag for you. Hashtag for you. Okay, this is a fucking rabbit hole. And this is why it's not difficult to come up with things to talk about, because you start searching one thing. I see one thing on Facebook, and I'm like, oh, what the hell is this? It's so obscure, and then that's part of the headline and everything to get you to click, but it got me to click. And then I started searching other things, and this is TikTok related. It was for you. People are filing down their teeth with emery boards. Guys, this is terrible. It's not good. So it made me try to do a little bit of research in these clusterfucks of rabbit holes in everything, whether it's politics, social media, algorithms, this, that, the other thing. I don't care. We live in the age of information. Okay, so everything's out there, and you can get trapped in rabbit holes of conspiracies and news and what's true and not, and Bigfoot and aliens and fucking monolith columns, whatever the fucking case may be. But basically, without getting into the whole rabbit hole, and I didn't get into the whole rabbit hole of hashtag for you, but it's a page on TikTok. So if your video is worthy enough to be published on this page, which is a part of TikTok, what the fuck is going on? One time I was bored, you know what I did? I figured out how to disassemble the dashboard of my car. I tore out the dashboard, the door panels, the handle pieces around the handle, all these other pieces, and I figured out how to do a custom paint job, giving the interior of my car accent color to the exterior of the car. The car was blue. I had all gray interior. The handles were now blue. Like, it was pimp. And I figured out how to do this because I was bored. I figured out how to do something. If I was smoking weed, at least since I can remember, I've always been thinking about shit. But come to find out, there's a lot of goofy challenges. Some are just stupid, like shaving half your eyebrow and then drawing in the rest of it finishing it, like with a eyeliner or some sort of pencil, marker, whatever the fuck, permanent marker. Who the fuck knows? There's other things like throwing things in the air. So you get a group of friends and you just throw shit in the air, just objects, and hopefully that it doesn't hit you. People are throwing ladders up in the air. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody started out with a bowling ball. Like, that's fucking stupid and dangerous. And these are the kind of TikTok challenges that dumbasses are doing to gain a little viral attention in a Chinese produced and owned app. And I have to believe on that hashtag For You page, they're promoting this sort of activity in some cases because it might work to go viral. People shaving down their goddamn teeth with an emery board. I don't know if it was photoshopped or not, but this girl it looked like shark teeth. I don't know if they filed it down so all the teeth were actually a point, but it was very disturbing. And there's one more challenge that I'm going to tell you about. It was mixing shaving cream, hand sanitizer, bleach, and strawberry jelly in a bag. Okay? You're mixing shaving cream, hand sanitizer, bleach, and strawberry jelly. What the fuck gives you the idea that... who's making up these mixtures? Who's mixing shaving cream, hand sanitizer, bleach, and strawberry jelly in a bag? And then next you place the bag on your eye for at least an hour. The goal of the challenge is to make one eye have a lighter shade than the other. This is going on, people. The challenge might look fun, but it is very dangerous, it says. You risk getting blind in one eye. Shaving cream and bleach, not to mention all the other things, have no business coming in contact with your eyes. But this is a TikTok challenge. Isn't this great? People are bored. And when you're bored and you have all these people and these influences around you maybe that are like, oh, I'm going to show everybody. I'm going to do something so extreme. Everybody's going to know who I am. I can't even fathom like if that is the mindset or what the mindset is. I don't know. These are the same fucking kids that were eating Tide Pods. Okay, Tide Pod Challenge. We all remember the infamous Tide Pod Challenge. What the fuck is going on? These are the people that are going to be running the country, voted in office by straight up popularity contests. I'm telling you, we're running a fine line in between the Jerry Springer and Idiocracy. I don't know what to make of it. We used to do shit, okay? Get high and draw a picture. Get high and watch comedy. Laugh with your friends. You know, not everything has to be getting high. There's other things you could do. Don't be trying to cut moles off yourself. So the only other thing I can really say about all this, and I'm not trying to glorify myself here in any way, shape, or form. My point is that I didn't grow up with all these technologies. I guarantee it would probably be a completely different path for me if I did. I was trying to figure it out, and I've been working for about 13 years in my working career, 13 years total. I've spent more time, 9 to 10 years, working for myself, so I've spent more time in my working career working for myself and making my own money. He worked hard for his money, so hard for it, honey. I work hard for my money, so you better treat me right. That's some Donna Summer, 1983, everybody. Now that I'm done making a fool of myself, let me get to the point and finish this. Can I just finish my goddamn point? I'm just the only one interrupting myself. But the point being is that whatever it is, don't get caught up in this trap. Don't think that you're going to be, I don't know if you're just doing it because you're bored. If you're into this sort of shit, you got kids that are into this shit and they're just TikToking. As long as they're dancing and having a good time, hey, whatever. Although it's a Chinese platform, more power to them. Okay? You let the Communist Party take control of all our information and whatever. Now I'm going off on a side tangent. I can't finish my goddamn point. So whatever it is, don't get caught up in this trap. Do something. I didn't have this technology, so I figured out things to do. Figure out a trade. Put something together. Buy a fucking box of Legos or something. Can't you all just buy goddamn 1,000 and 15,000 piece puzzles and try to put that together, huh? And then come back and talk to me when you got a 15,000 piece puzzle together. So after completing a 15,000 piece puzzle, you'd think you'd learn a little something about patience. That's a skill. But figure out a skill, a trade. The only reason I've been able to kind of work for myself is because each step that I've had in my whole 13-year working career has built me up farther and farther and farther, advancing into the industry, which now allows me the opportunity to provide for myself and work for myself on my own schedule. No boss. I could take a day off if I want. I can work extra late to catch up, so it frees me up in the morning, which I do often. There's a lot of benefits. But this shit didn't happen overnight. Buy a jigsaw, go to the hardware store, buy some wood, and carve out little fucking woodland creatures out of the wood and sell them on Etsy. I don't know, I'm just spitballing here, but the point being that you gotta find something that you enjoy doing. There's a lady in Colorado that goes out and mines for moose poop. She goes out there and she picks up all this moose poop. Then she comes back to her house. She sets it out for the drying process, and she makes nice little home decors out of it, like clocks. And little squirrel creatures, I think, actually formed out of the poop. It's a poopins. That's a big pile of moose poopy. She's got to enjoy it. She's got a lot of publicity from the news station at one point. I think that's all she does is walks around the mountains of Colorado. I mean, what kind of fucking dream is that? I'll take that dream over what I'm doing right now any day. If I can survive in the mountains of Colorado, walking around in nature, talking to the birds, the squirrels, the elk, the fucking bears, the coyotes, mountain lions, lynx, bobcats, snakes, tarantulas, whatever the fuck, grubs. You know, while I'm out there, I'm going to mine for grubs. I'm going to eat grubs. But let that be the life. You know, and what kind of life is that? That'd be an amazing. I'd trade that life right now for what I'm doing. Sitting here in front of a goddamn microphone. I'd rather be in the mountains of Colorado. I don't care how cold it is right now. I'm in for the night anyways. It's dark. It's getting colder. I can't see anything. So it makes no sense mining for moose turds. Okay? That's a daytime job. But you go out. You know, maybe you wait till noon so you can even sleep in. You wait till noon, the fucking snow's melted. You go out there and you start picking up the moose poop. Bring it back home, start the drying process, and make your clocks and shit. Knickknacks, patty wax, moose poop. Okay, so do something. Don't cut moles off your own skin. Don't file your teeth down with an emery board, people. Don't throw ladders up in the air or bowling balls while standing in a circle just hoping that the thing doesn't hit you. This is preposterous. All these things could result in serious injury and or death. There was one more where there's 3 people, okay? You got 2 people on the side of the person that's in the middle, and the person in the middle isn't in on the joke. They don't know what's coming. And then you got the 2 people on the side that kick the feet from under this person, and a lot of times they're fucking hitting their heads on the concrete. Like, this is dangerous shit, people. So if you're caught up in this bullshit, like, get out of it. Hopefully you're not, because you're probably a little bit too young if you're on TikTok. And if you're old, if you're my age, if you're 40 years old and on TikTok doing TikTok challenges, go fuck yourself. Why don't you do something with your life? Anyways, let's try and talk about something different. And this isn't a political show by any means. But by the way, have you all accepted the leadership of your new dark overlord, Xi Jinping? Our fellow hopefuls will call them, just to put it nice. They're all in bed together. It's a sick orgy. The government is a sick goddamn orgy full of power, greed, and oh man, it's disgusting. It's a vile and disgusting, I won't say system because it's not the system that's flawed. It's the people. Goddamn career politicians. Learn how to do something. They should be politicians for like 1 to 5 years and then go buy a fucking jigsaw, right? Go to the hardware store, buy some wood, and learn how to cut woodland creatures out of it. That's all I can say. Start up a goddamn Etsy store. Maybe sell some merch. Sell some t-shirts. Come up with a logo. Fucking put your cutouts on a shirt. Sell the shirt and the cutout so people can just match the decor in their house. I don't know. There's ideas, people. There's technology out there where you can use this technology to try to get ahead and do your own thing. Just try to be original. Don't follow the footsteps of somebody else that you just try and mimic. Use people as inspiration, get something, try and gain some knowledge from what they've gone through or what they're doing or how they're doing it, but be your own person. So enough about Xi Jinping and being your own person at TikTok and hashtag for you. So everybody, Christmas is coming up. I'd like to focus on one gift here that you guys might be interested in. You know, it's nothing that I've ever heard of, so I don't know. It's very rare that you might have heard of this actual product, but it's super interesting. So if you know anybody that's about to bring new life into this world, you know, somebody that's pregnant, maybe it's at least 16 weeks or so, could I suggest a baby pod? Music is life. All right, the baby pod. It's a small speaker for intravaginal use. It allows you to share music, communicate with your baby, and stimulates the development of their vocalization before birth. It's on the IG Nobel 2017 winner. It's recommended by gynecologists and approved by the FDA. You take this Bluetooth speaker, you shove it up your vagina, and you play music for the baby. How much greater can that be? Everything, it's safe. It's safe, everybody. They've even got pictures of how to use it online. Go to babypod.net. The myth of talking to your belly is over. You could talk directly to this baby. You know, maybe you're a bass nectar bass head, and then throw on some bass nectar. You know, throw that thing in your pussy. Throw that thing. Don't turn it up too loud because the bass is a low frequency. You don't want to damage the embryo. I don't know what you call it, the zygote. No, maybe that's a little too early. Whatever, the developing baby that's in your uteral canal. Is that even uteral? Your uterus, okay? But we got a speaker. It's got to be waterproof and all that because you shove it in your pussy, okay? You turn that thing on. Maybe you take some MDMA, you take some ecstasy, right? You turn on bass nectar and you just start raving. Maybe you break out the fucking, what do they call those? The pyro fucking things, the fire on the string, and you start fucking bringing out the hula hoops and the glow sticks and all that. You start raving it up to bass nectar while you're pregnant. That's the most phenomenal gift you could give a pregnant woman. You know, and they even have pictures. So like, here, what is baby pod? Get in a comfortable position, number one. That's just the beginning. This is number one. Gently insert the free end of the baby pod until it is inside the vagina. Connect the jack plug to your smartphone. Turn on bass nectar. No, it doesn't say that. If you want to share the music the baby is listening to, so if you don't want to just, have some sort of theme song going on in your vagina and you want to listen to it in your ears, you can also link up with your headphones into the jack so you and your baby are jamming in bass nectar. Maybe you throw on a little bit of
Antwort. It sounds a bit fucking stupid, actually.
How do you say it right?
Antwort. Die Antwort.
You throw a little bit of the Antwort on, put it in your vagina, you're set to go. Throw it in your earbuds. You can even link it up so while you got this wire hanging out your crotch, right? You can even, and say you're walking with your boyfriend, it's the baby daddy, and then you could just, everybody can link up their headphones. You got a trifecta of family enjoyment of bass nectar and die Antwerp, however the fuck you say it. So it's a beautiful thing, bringing in a baby, if you want to try and keep it classy, maybe you throw on some Beethoven. throw that thing in your pussy, throw on some Beethoven, you're good to go. You plug it into your phone, you can have any sort of music, and you can get that baby headbanging. So once it starts headbanging, you might want to stop. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Please contact your gynecologist to see if this product is recommended. And I don't even know how to transition out of that, so be sure to wash your baby pods and wash your pussy. Okay, you know what? I do have a transition. How's this for transition? Okay, we turn this whole baby pod thing into a hashtag for you TikTok challenge. This is going to be the greatest challenge that ever swept the whole hashtag for you TikTok nation. Okay, what you're going to do first is save up $150. Okay, with this $150, once you have enough money saved up, you're going to go out and you're going to purchase the baby pod. It's going to take a little bit of time for the baby pod to get delivered to your home. So in the meantime, while you're waiting for delivery on the baby pod, you're going to start a TikTok account. Okay, once you have your TikTok account set up, you're going to prepare. You're going to figure out how you're going to go about this TikTok challenge. Okay, you ready for the challenge? Here's the challenge. You have to take the baby pod and you have to walk around with your own theme song. Okay, you could set it to Star Wars, Superman. Maybe you have it on Bass Nectar and you're a bass head. You got to have something recognizable. Maybe it's Donna Summer. Like, she works hard for her money. Okay, that's enough. You could put on, maybe it's Green Day, Dookie. Maybe it's Led Zeppelin. You got a little Jimi Hendrix, Purple Haze. But it's got to be somewhat recognizable. So you take this baby pod, you shove it up your ass, and you put it on level 11. Okay, you go into a store, a department store, grocery store, Walmart, whatever's open. Maybe you're going dining, if you can handle it, but there's all the things. So you shove it up your ass, you turn it on volume 11, and you just got to stand next to people. Maybe you can even bring somebody else into the whole TikTok challenge joke, right? You have you with a baby pod in your ass and the music playing, your theme song, right? You walk up to somebody in an aisle and you just get as close as you can, pretending like you're looking at some sort of product on the shelf, and you got somebody else that's in on the joke, kind of come in from the other side, right? So you kind of close in on this person, and you have that other person. If the person that is not in on the joke doesn't say anything, you have to have the other person that's in on the joke say something like, "You guys hear that? What is that?" And the person that's in on the joke is like, "Oh shit, you hear that? It sounds like Thriller. You guys hear Michael Jackson? Is that Thriller? Where's that coming from?" And I don't know, somehow figure it out where it turns out you expose that there's a fucking baby pod in this person's ass playing a theme song. And it's, "Oh, you've been punked." That's the fucking TikTok challenge. We'll call it the Dookie music. I don't know. We'll call it the ass theme song. What the hell are you going to call it? Help me out. Write me an email, dandemoniumpodcast@gmail.com. Give me a suggestion for this baby pod TikTok challenge. We're going to get this shit started. This is going to go viral, everybody. It's the craziest challenge of 2020. You know what? If this shit actually goes viral and you start seeing on TikTok hashtag for you, the fucking baby pod up the ass theme song challenge, it's kind of a long name. Maybe we could shorten that name, but I like that because it's descriptive enough. The baby pod, the baby pod, shove it up your ass theme song challenge. It's got some sort of ring to it. I don't know. It explains it. I think that's enough. But if that actually takes place, then I just have to say one thing. It definitely declines my hope for humanity in the future. And that's part of the challenge where you have to be like the person that has the baby pod shoved up their ass. They have to be like, "Do you know the song? Can you guess the song? If you guess the song, I will eat this Tide Pod. Oh, if you win and you guess the song, I will eat this Tide Pod." That's it. All hope for humanity would be lost. I hope this never happens. I hope it doesn't take place. Everybody, this is a bad idea. Don't do drugs. Don't set lawns on fire. Don't shove baby pods up your ass. First, you have to be so motivated where you're like, "Yeah, I'm going to save up $150. I'm going to get this baby pod. Maybe you go to the quietest place. So that's part of the challenge. You get extra bonus points and you're more likely to go viral if like you're in a very quiet place. Maybe you go to your local library and you just sit down at a computer. You know, all depends on how long you can handle this thing being shoved up your ass playing music. I can't imagine that the thing's going to be comfortable. And you know what? There could be rectal bleeding. There could be damage. So I don't advise this for anybody. It's not something you should do. But if this actually happens, I'm losing hope for humanity. Maybe you're in church and you're sitting next to, it takes 45 minutes for somebody next to you to be like, do you hear that? I've been hearing music for 45 minutes. You got to set it on a playlist. Be like, oh yeah? Well, can you guess the song? This is a challenge. Can you guess the song? And they're like, no, what the fuck? Where is that coming from? It's coming from my ass. Can you guess the song? No, you're fucking nuts, you weirdo. And then the TikTok challenge, whoever's got the pod shoved up their butt playing the theme song, you know, they're so goddamn weird because they took on the challenge in the first place. And then they're like, hey, you know, they're in church, mind you, and they're like, hey, if you give me an extra $5, I'll cut my nipple off. This is the kind of shit that would be very, very sad for humanity, everybody. And then they'll be like, hey, you know, give me an extra $50, maybe we'll just chop off a finger. I don't know. This has gone off the rails. And don't do this challenge. You know, and I'm not going to mention any other Christmas gifts because it's all about the pregnant ladies this Christmas. Okay? If you don't know a pregnant lady in your life, then, you know, I don't have any recommendations for dad gifts, mom gifts, brother, sister gifts, nieces and nephews. Go out, use your creativity, and get everybody something nice. You know what? Or just pay them a visit. Zoom them because you damn well better not be visiting them in person. None of them. Okay? Stay the fuck at home. Don't do shit. Wash your hands and cough in your sleeve. Don't shake any hands. Wash your hands for at least 45 minutes. And everything should be fine, people. I mean, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with my life. If you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button down below. Give this video a quick thumbs up. Boop. And we'll look forward to seeing you next week. Good night.